Newsom should run in 2028. He is going to run in 28. We don't have to say he should. He's going to, as is Kathy Hochul and probably Shapiro, whatever his first name is, from Pennsylvania. Like, I think Newsom's going to get it because he's the one that's coming out swinging the hardest and the earliest. But if one of these other governors, if one of these other governors gets on the fight Trump train, Josh Shapiro is a loser. I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than people like him. Who's my top dim candidate right now? Are you asking who I would prefer, or are you asking who I think is like who is the top? Because the answer to the top is it's Gavin Newsom. He's yeah. Who I think should run? I I don't know enough about Newsom's politics. The If I were to have someone to run, it would be someone that had the I'm trying to think if there's anyone right now that I just like fucking adore. And I don't think that there is. Like I unironically, I liked the temperament and the policies of Joe Biden. Like if he wasn't so fucking old, I like it, that I would want him to run again. Okay. But yeah, I want someone who's like a strong advocate for workers, for building it up, you know, because it seems like everyone wants the industrial base here in the United States. This is what I think we should do. I think we should build up the industrial base in the United States to a certain extent by, you know, investing in the things that we need to produce here at home, right? So that we have a little bit of a buffer, and then also produce high technologies like green technologies. I'd love someone to be in favor of that kind of domestic industrial policy. You know, someone that puts money in, like creates a sovereign wealth fund that everyone gets, you know, dividends from and shit like that. You know, someone that has good foreign policy and isn't a fucking cuck to these third world dictators, you know? Like I don't really have that high of a bar, to be honest, but if I was to have a perfect candidate, it would have been Joe Biden with his current policies from 2012. Like I love his energy, I love his passion, and yeah, but we can't get that, and I don't know if there is anyone in the Democratic Party that's near that. I would tepidly say Pete Buttigieg and Gavin Newsom, but I just don't know enough about like their specific policies, you know. But Buttigieg, in terms of like his character, seems like he is like a very strong character. He's a very good person. He seems that way. Newsom he seems like a politician. I'm not opposed to that. I like politicians. All right. I might eventually be one if I can totally delete every bit of everything I've ever said off the internet. Yeah, I'll go and run for office. All right. I like politicians. But I don't think that there's anybody else like deep in the bench. Someone needs to like step up and start making waves and start saying like they're going to do something. All right. If they want to do something, Tim Walz, fucking speak up, get up there, do something. Newsom did kind of cuck himself when he was on a podcast with conservatives. I never watched it. Governor Pritzker. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. He never really crossed my mind until this past week. He said something at his news conference while like talking about the Texas redistricting that was just like a real Giga Chad moment. I was like, you know what? This motherfucker's got it too. All right. This motherfucker's got it too. We need people to go out there and just be fucking mean and just stop pretending like we're going to punish them for like wagging their dick. All right. I want someone to go out there with a fucking swagger. All right. I want someone to go out there with their dick in their hand and said, "Get some." All right. That's the kind of Democrat I want right now. Yeah, the Newsom press corps tweets, those are fucking awesome. I think that that's great. All the Republicans coping over that and saying that it's immature is just like so funny to me. Um Trying to, yeah, I just don't know. There, and part of this is like I have been only following the headlines because to get into any deeper understanding of how bad things are is just not something that I need to do right now for me. But I have a basic understanding of what's going on. I'm probably still more informed than like 80% of America. So we need someone who will call Trump a pedophile. Yes. We need someone to call Trump a cuck. We need to someone to call Trump a pedophile. We need them to call them these things and not sound like a bitch while saying it. You know, that's what we need. Someone who has used that vocabulary before. America had it so good when he was young. Talking about who? Talking about Trump or Newsom? I don't even know how old Newsom is. I feel like I've seen so many pictures of him in the past couple of days, and all of them look very like, partly because they're from different time periods, and then also just like different levels of flattering pictures. I do not know how old that man is. He's somewhere between the ages of 48 and 72. I can't fucking tell. He's probably like what, in his 60s? Biden could have won if he just released the Epstein files and then not try to fight on the facts and numbers, but just be mean. No, I think that the Epstein files, if they had been released before, wouldn't have damaged Trump. I think it had to be him in office, being the one to be like, there's nothing to see here, that makes it, you know. I mean, young Biden, the president
And
America
when I was
deserves.
in your position, I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade. I was
Base.
suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina. I was suggesting
Based.
we take out his oil supplies. I was suggesting very specific action. That's not total victory. That's not the victory I want. That's not the victory John wants. I've been saying we should go on the ground. We should announce there's going to be American casualties. We should go to Belgrade and we should have a Japanese, German-style occupation of that country. Then, when I was in your
Fuck
position, I was
yeah, dude. I'm not even, listen, I'm not even a fucking war hawk, but having someone that's willing to say like, hey, Russia, if you kill one more of our precious Ukrainians, we're going to rape, kill, and burn from the Eastern Front all the way to fucking Siberia. Like it's going to be a repeat of the Mongol invasions. If you kill one more of our precious Ukrainians, there will be generational trauma upon every single Russian born. Like that's the kind of war hawkishness I want. Like, fuck you, you evil dictator. America is strong. America is strong. And the way that Trump is engaging with Putin, the way that he is engaging with all of these foreign conflicts, makes us seem like we are on their level. To even imply that we are on the same level as them, that they deserve a seat at the table with us, is insane. To invite them to our house and then roll out the red carpet for them and have our fucking soldiers on their knees in front of the Russian president's plane taping down his red carpet is a visual that they are playing 24/7 in Russia. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Sorry. But we need a president who's willing to fucking say, like, hey, Israel, you've killed a lot of Hamas now. You've killed enough of Hamas now. Boots on the ground. You can occupy it if you need. The bombs need to stop. You know, like whatever the fuck is happening over there, because I haven't kept up. Whatever the next phase is, it's time for it, and that's what the U.S. president needs to say. The U.S. president needs to say, we're going to create a trade union, a trade, some diplomatic, force with all of our allies so that we stop buying from China. Did you guys know that we are now buying more from China because Trump put such high tariffs on India and the other countries that are producing consumer goods for us? Now we're buying more from China. This is why I can't stream, okay? This is why we have to stop. We're going to see what this is, and then we're going to end stream. I'm going to get really high, and maybe I'll stick around in the Discord for a little bit. Fuck me, dude. Conservative Wall Street Journal editorial board just issued a scathing op-ed detailing how Trump failed to get any concessions from Putin while Putin managed to play Trump like a fiddle to get what he wanted. It was notable that Mr. Putin spent most of his soliloquy in front of the press flattering Mr. Trump, endorsing the U.S. president's view that the war would never have happened if Trump had been in office in 2022, and extolling the possibilities for U.S.-Russia business ties. In the sense that Russian achieved one of his major goals from the summit, which is the start of his rehabilitation as a world leader. The summit ended his isolation from the West, and he gave up nothing for it. He also appears to have gained more time to continue bombing Ukrainian cities and slowly taking more territory. It isn't clear what Mr. Trump gained. He had told the press that he would be angry if no ceasefire emerged from the parley, but Mr. Trump showed no PQ? I actually don't know how to say that word. I've never come across a situation where I would need to say it out loud.
Peak.
But the Wall Street Journal is fake news, so I've been fighting with that guy that I have no self-control internet gas. That guy that I had on stream, the plain FAG guy, right? Demetrius. And I think that, like, man, I know that there's like a whole like psychological there's like psychological differences between different countries and their relationship with government and stuff, right? Like I know that is a phenomenon that is recognized, right? Places that are more, there are places that are more okay with authoritarianism psychologically because their culture has been under authoritarian rule for so long that it's just like a fact of the matter, right? And then there are places where like democracy is just like people don't like the authoritarianism. And America was one of those places until recently. But I am starting to notice the psychological breaking of so many conservatives, the true psychological breaking, the true cucking of their entire being, where they're sitting there and saying, nothing matters. Nothing, like, of course we had to start diplomatic relationships with the Russians eventually, blah, 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 blah. Even people that hate Russians. They're completely placated. Completely placated. Because they saw the B-2 bomber go overhead. That'll show Putin. It's just it there's no point. That's why it's so hard for me to stream. Right? And I'll end on this because like actually I fuck me. I'm gonna get too mad and I want to have, some peace. But I'm arguing from a paradigm that I believe is dead or dying. I can't make the arguments for why this is bad to most people now because I don't think that most people care about the things that I care about. I care about I care about the foundational, principles of our country. I care about people's well-being. I care about maintaining American hegemony. Uh, and I believe that the United States can use its big swinging dick to affect the world. But that's not the paradigm that seems to be emerging that I'm fighting against. And there's probably, unfortunately, going to be I don't think that they're going to win because I don't think enough people in this country want that end goal. But what's going to end up happening is there's going to be some hybridization of the old paradigm that we've been trying to defend and this new gay retarded authoritarian bullshit. And I don't know how to appeal to people who have a raped mindset that they're just subservient and believe everything that Trump tells them. I can't appeal to them, and I can't appeal to people that think that those people can be reasoned with. I don't know how to. So like that's one reason. That's a big reason why it's so hard for me to stream right now. Because how the fuck do you convince someone that is convinced that all it took to convince them that Trump totally owned Putin was the cool plane flew overhead? I am a fucking 93 IQ guy at best, but I'm living in a 70 IQ world, and that terrifies me. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end stream. Uh, is there even enough people watching right now to warrant rating? No, there's not. I'm going to go ahead and end right here. I love you guys very much. Please join the Discord, and if you have suggestions for the Discord, post them in the Discord or DM me. Yeah, that's about it. Let me see here.